No, you said there's more Tali time. The Tali time never stops. Black screen of dome? There's no black screen. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, yo? What are you talking about, Willis? What are you talking about, Willis? I know black screen of dome. It's just mind. Your eyes finally gave out. Hi, Ryder. The eyes finally gave out, yo. I outlasted you. My eyes still worked. Yours don't. My eyes still work, yours don't. They might barely work, but they still work. We eat dinner. And so we're gonna do more defunct land. After that, I may do script writing, I may not. I'm not quite sure. We may do more video gaming instead. We will see. For now, I'm the writer and Gabriel, but your name says writer. What do you mean? Confused. 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 I mean, yours says rioter, though. But it says rioter. It's Gabriel, why rioter? If Gabriel, why rioter? If Gabriel, why rioter? Bye. You're hurting my brain! That's what's funny. All they count, I think. You can change the name. You know that, right? You can change the name. That's a thing. Yes, he always in YouTube chat. She was for a little bit. I don't know if she's still here. Anyways, I need to eat food. I'm very hungry. And it is dinner time for Tali. There's no audio. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet.
In late 2007, it was revealed that real adults working real jobs messed up the real economy so badly that the world entered the Great Recession. The global downturn negatively affected both real cities and miniature fake ones. Schools cut back on field trips, and families reduced their leisure spending. As a result, attendance fell at both Kid City theme parks and educational centers.
Maybe another video. What do you mean another video? What do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Wiz? I'm gonna wait and make tonight. I don't know why.
We would need to get stimulus.
Throughout this period,
What?
Junior Achievement was in the midst of transitioning many exchange cities into an updated version of the concept with the new branding, J.A. BizTown. While this was occurring, the recession forced many exchange cities to reduce staff and cut costs. One location in New Hampshire closed their doors due to financial difficulties. The original location in Kansas City was in the process of moving from its downtown location to the Kansas City Underground when the recession hit. Meanwhile, the recession served as another in a long list of setbacks for Wanadu City. In 2008, Larascotti exited Wanadu Entertainment. No specific reasons were given for his departure, but by this point, Wanadu City's expansion plans had almost certainly been abandoned. Around the same time as Larascotti's exit, Wanadu City designed an extensive overlay to boost attendance at the park. Dinosaurs were added to nearly every corner of the city,
Dinosaurs!
adding new experiences and a new job as a paleontologist. Multiple other professions were affected by the prehistoric invasion. The cooking had dinosaurs, the modeling had dinosaurs, the theater had dinosaurs. CNN was rebranded to the Caveman News Network.
What do I have a hat? Because yesterday was my anniversary. I didn't realize until today, but yesterday was my debut anniversary. It's been a year since I debuted. That's why me and my bird had hats. Okay. We got a new dinosaur in Argentina. Is that true? That's crazy. Yeah, it's officially been a year since I debuted. Which is very exciting stuff.
Tours placed all throughout the city, and the city bus was rethemed to allow children to take a guided tour of the featured creatures. The following year, when most of the dinosaur theming was removed, the vehicle became a Broward County transit bus as part of a 13-month, $50,000 sponsorship with the Florida Department of Transportation.
Thank you, Wisewell. That's very kind of you.
In August of 2009, the recession, along with the H1N1 influenza pandemic, resulted in Mundo de Adaveras closing its gates. The park was left abandoned, and many urban explorers have documented the park in recent years. The derelict attraction still has much of its
Thank you for the 1,000 bits, Wisewell. That's very kind of you. And to many more, here's hoping. I don't know, something good happened, but we'll see. Here's hoping. They have plans for many more, but we'll
original
see.
signage and theming. The factory is still intact, as are many of the building facades. The park is now overrun with miniature graffiti, tiny debris, and child-sized collapsing infrastructure. Mundo de Adaveras would not be the only kid city to fall post-recession, as only a year later, on November 18, 2010, it was announced that Wanadu City would close for good. Few were surprised by the news,
Hello.
as attendance had remained a significant issue for Wanadu City. Management had failed to properly address it, despite the addition of new attractions such as the Flavor Maker's Taste Emporium, in which children could take on the role of a taste tester and try multiple snow cone flavors, and a new show in Wanadu City's theater named Help, which was described as a psychedelic puppet show tribute to the Beatles. Meanwhile, some aspects of the Wanadu City experience had become worse. Admission was increased to $40 per child, which many parents felt was outrageous.
Excuse me?
Some believe that the experience itself had deteriorated.
Excuse me? What? $40 per child? Are we joking? This company looked up a tutorial on how to make no money, and they followed it.
With some attractions closing during slow periods. When a busy day did occur, queues for the city's jobs could be long, meaning many children spend a significant portion of their day waiting. Other issues were not new. While Wanadu City had clearly learned that charging parents admission was a major deterrent to visiting families, the park was still charging a $10 entry fee for parents in 2010. Even with new sponsorships throughout its life, lack of partnerships was still cited as one of the main reasons for its closure. When contacted, a spokesperson for Wanadu City stated that the park had no statement on its closure. Wanadu City was planned to close on January 12th, but just a few weeks after this announcement, the date was moved up. Wanadu City would officially close its doors on January 2nd, 2011. 314 employees were laid off, and many of the park's props, structures, and rides were put up for auction, including the DC-9 airplane. The airplane was purchased for $20,000 by a man named Joe Axline, who planned to turn it into his house. Axline's lifelong dream was to live inside of an airplane, a dream he was finally able to achieve.
$3,000 is kind of cheap, actually. For the front of an airplane, that's not bad.
After the closure of Wanadu City, as well as his divorce. Axline dubbed his airplane homestead Project Freedom, in a reference to his divorce. There's something poetic about the Wanadu City plane, which allowed children to live out their dreams of becoming pilots, now being used to help an adult to achieve their childhood dream of living inside of an airplane. While the closure upset many of Wanadu City's frequent visitors, a group that did not seem disappointed was the management of Sawgrass Mills, who seemed eager to fill the void that the city would leave behind. The large space used by Wanadu City would be gutted and transformed into a new shopping area, where multiple luxury retailers would set up shop. The new section, named Fashion Row, opened in 2013. While Wanadu City was falling, Kidzania was rising. A second location in Japan was constructed, along with new parks in Portugal, Dubai, and South Korea, bringing the total number of Kidzanias to 8. Luis Javier Larescotti had left both La Ciudad de los Niños and Wanadu City behind, but he could not stay away from Kid Cities for good. Throughout 2011, Larescotti developed a new role-playing theme center under the new brand Can Do. Can Do was significantly smaller and cheaper than Wanadu City, costing just $5 million to construct. According to Larescotti, the most notable difference between the new project and his previous ventures was that in Can Do, parents could participate in the fun. Larescotti acknowledged that the sidelining of parents and guardians was the most common complaint in both the City of Children and Wanadu City, and he believed that Can Do would find more success in including everyone in the city's activities. Candu was branded as, quote, the first job-experiencing theme park where 3 generations can enjoy themselves. Candu opened in Bogota, Colombia in January of 2012, with the promise to build 4 more kid cities throughout the country. That same year, Kidzania opened 2 new locations in Santiago, Chile, and another in Mexico City. In 2013, Candu opened 2 new cities, a second in Colombia in the city of Medellin, and another in Chiba, Japan. At the same time, Kidzania expanded to Kuwait, Egypt, and Thailand. In 2014 and 2015, new Kidzanias opened in Turkey, Saudi Arabia, London, and Brazil. Kidzania's expansion remained aggressive, but just 3 locations in, Candu had already stalled. In 2015, Candu Medellin closed its doors after just 2 years of operation. The following year, while Kidzania was expanding to Russia and opening additional fun centers in South Korea and India, Candu was facing another closure. After 4 years of operation, the Candu in Bogota, Colombia closed its doors, leaving the Candu in Japan as the sole operating location. In 2016,
Bicaro. Bicarosaurus, that's the name. Bicaro means huge and weird animal. That's funny. That one. What am I not doing? Oh, don't come to Brazil? I will. We'll have no plans to pretty much ever go to Brazil.
the exchange city in Kansas City ceased operations after several years of financial difficulties and a long series of mayors who couldn't be bothered to take their job seriously. I would have run laps around this kid. I would have won that mayoral race in a landslide. This kid would cry if he saw my campaign. Kansas City's exchange city was one of the last remaining exchange cities to not transition into a junior achievement biz town, which by the mid-2010s had dozens of locations around the United States.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Candu would finally open an additional location in 2018, when Candu Torino debuted in Italy. Also in 2018, Kidzania would open an additional location in Mexico and a new location in Costa Rica. The following year, 4 new Kidzanias were opened, including finally a location in the United States with Kidzania Dallas. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic forced most non-essential businesses to close their doors, including kid cities. While most centers...
Hey, so... how come when I was little I didn't hear about any of these guys? I had yet to go to one of these when I was little. How come I didn't hear about any of these? These weren't a thing where I lived. But they sound so fun.
Would reopen months later with modified experiences. Many would cease operations for good during the shutdown. This included 4 Kidzania locations and the Candu in Torino, Italy. The latter resulted in Candu once again having just a single operating location. Kidzania would recover well in the years following the shutdown, with most locations reopening and several new cities being constructed. As of 2024, 26 Kidzanias are operating, with 5 more in development. Junior Achievement has enjoyed a similar success, with over 40 JA Biz Towns now operating throughout the United States. In 2021, Junior...
let me see if there's any near me real quick, then. Okay. Closest one to me, Kidzania-wise, is 3 hours away. We're snacking on eating tacos for dinner. What about JA this time? Well, JA this time is virtually 20 minutes away from me. I've not heard of these ever. I don't heard of these ever. I'm back to YouTube. Bye, Gabriel.
achievement opened a new BizTown in Kansas City, bringing the concept back to the city in which it originated. Thanks to the success of Kidzania and JA BizTown, kid cities are as popular as ever, a truth that many feel conflicted about. The effects of kid cities on children is rife with debate. School curriculums, especially in the United States, are often criticized for being too academic, theoretical, and according to some, useless. It is common to hear complaints that what is taught in schools has no real-world application. Why did we spend so much time learning about the Pythagorean theorem when we could have learned about credit scores or how to start a business? Why did the Department of Education insist that we learn that the mitochondria was the powerhouse of the cell, rather than forcing us to take a government-mandated tax class that would have been great and that no one would have ever complained about? In many ways, kid cities are the other extreme, showcasing what a curriculum focused on practicality and vocation looks like. Parents and educators alike lauded the kid cities for their lessons in financial responsibility and career education, but at the same time, over-preparing children for the quote-unquote real world has its drawbacks. Cementing the inner workings of society into impressionable minds, to some, can come across as an indoctrination of the status quo and existing power structures.
It's very hard in our public school system for people to learn about the free enterprise system that has built America.
Not really. But I feel like teaching kids how to run a business at a young age would be a good thing. It would be the power of himself, true.
If all you do is teach children how to navigate the existing world, they might be less equipped and motivated to change and improve it. Even from a practical perspective, the world is
That's
always
weird.
changing, and the world that you can educate children on when they are 8 will not be the world that they enter when they are 18. The stated reason that Exchange City transitioned
fine.
into JA BizTown was because the Exchange City curriculum focused heavily on balancing checkbooks and filling out ledgers, skills that were becoming less useful in modern life. Professions also
That's fine. At least they're more prepared. That's certainly a lot better than what we've got now.
change over time. Today's citizens and junior capitalists can still take up work as a food worker or a firefighter, but new jobs such as Amazon fulfillment warehouse employee and Amazon delivery driver showcase the passage of time in an unsettling way. In its current form, Kid Cities act as a supplement to academics, with at most a few weeks of curriculum for the education centers and a focus on entertainment for the fun centers. Kid Cities are able to escape most criticism. But concerns over the presentation of heavier topics and the infiltration of advertising on impressionable minds should be a continuing conversation, and likely deserves more thought than it has been given over the past 40 years of Kid Cities. There will probably never be a consensus on issues such as education style or what age a child should be introduced to McDonald's, but there is a truth found in the Kid City experience that is less controversial and far more depressing. Children will always want to be adults, and adults will always want to be children. Children envy adults for their freedom, while adults view their freedom as responsibility. This is especially true for those that had a relatively privileged childhood, and were not thrust into adult roles at a younger age due to circumstance. It is easy to blame the existence of Kid Cities on capitalism, power structures, or the United States, but those are only influences on the content found within. The concept is universal. Kid Cities are now enjoyed by children all around the world. Even with a different economic system, in a theoretical utopia, the grass will always be greener. And the genius of Kid Cities is that they harness this yearning and build a large-scale set for kids to play out their desire to experience adulthood. Adults, on the other hand, would rather build a fantastical recreation of their childhoods to return to. Envy may be the thief of joy. That is, unless you build a giant simulated environment so that you can experience the object of your envy, in which case, envy rocks, and if managed well, is extremely profitable. And that, kids, is your lesson in the grown-up world. Man, I would have made a great mayor.
Good video, good video. Yeah, let's get him in Berger. Good video, good video. Wait, I got a hiccup. The mic does invincible wobble edits. Guys, I'm like those invincible wobble edits. Look at me. Look at me, yeah. Somebody clip that, speed it up, and turn it into a GIF.
Sports shop,
It'd be so funny.
international shop, nature shop, sign shop that produces a sign for every business.
Somebody clip that, speed it up, turn it into a GIF. It'd be so funny. Not wobbly enough. Man, what's next on the menu? Why don't we do a Nick Hotel? This is only 20 minutes too, so that's not that one.
In 1999, the children's network Nickelodeon was changed forever with the premiere of a new cartoon series named SpongeBob SquarePants. Nickelodeon had developed many...
Is this... Okay, so we had this debate earlier. Which is the bigger... Modern-wise, which is the bigger cartoon character? Which is the more recognizable? Like today, not over time, today. Today, which is the bigger, like, iconic cartoon character? SpongeBob or Mickey Mouse? What do we think? A fair poll. There's the Twitch poll. Twitch poll was active. I remember how to do this on YouTube. There it is. So we had this debate before. I'm generally curious. Who do y'all think is, like, today-wise, who's not more iconic? Not all time, not every day, not everywhere, just today. Just today, cartoon-wise, who's more iconic and recognizable? SpongeBob or Mickey Mouse? Because, in my opinion, that's kind of a hard question. I'd have to go with SpongeBob if I were to guess, because he's more modern and more kind of just in your face, whereas Mickey Mouse is kind of like fizzled out a bit. He's less active, but I'm curious what you guys think.
Popular TV shows in its 20-year existence, but it had never had a hit like SpongeBob. The show debuted to high ratings, with an audience comparable to Nickelodeon's biggest series at the time, Rugrats. But SpongeBob found massive success in an area that other Nickelodeon shows hadn't: merchandising. The company had purposefully shied away from extending the brand too far from the network itself. While Nickelodeon had turned some of its properties into toys, feature films, and video games, they feared that too much merchandising would contradict the brand's goal of appealing to young audiences. Nickelodeon was supposed to appear as a network run by kids, for kids, and the executives believed that children could tell when they were being advertised to.
No, they can't. That's not true at all. Kids don't know Monday from Tuesday. They don't know when they're being advertised to. That's dumb. Adults are dumb, bro. What do adults run know? They're so stupid and dumb. Also, my tracking got killed. There it is. We should bring back Kansas cities, but like make it real. Make it a real thing. Make Kansas cities like the world, because like kids gotta figure it out. Adults don't. Adults are dumb. We broke the world, idiot. We should let kids run it. Figure out what happens.
Thus interfering with the channel's primary objective. On top of this, a general distaste for the Walt Disney Company and its practices had solidified Nickelodeon's motivation to limit size and avoid feeling corporate. All of this was thrown out the window after SpongeBob premiered. The potential profit from merchandising the show's characters and setting was too large to ignore, and the title character would turn into Nickelodeon's unofficial mascot, its own Mickey Mouse, within just a few years. It appeared as though Nickelodeon was cashing in, but they were still concerned with expanding outside of their comfort zone and tarnishing their brand. In lieu of building its own stores like Disney, a type of project that was deemed too risky, Nickelodeon instead licensed its properties to anyone that wanted them. If you could slap a SpongeBob sticker on it, then Nickelodeon would sign a document that legally allowed you to slap a SpongeBob sticker on it. And since they were already beginning to look like their main competitor, why not act like them too? And what's more Disney than rushing into a huge, difficult project fueled by temporary success? Welcome to the Nick Hotel. Going up?
I can, Verger.
On October 9, 2003, Nickelodeon announced that they had formed a partnership with the hotel chain Holiday Inn for the purpose of transforming its Orlando resort, the Holiday Inn Family Suites Resort, into the first ever Nickelodeon hotel. The property was less than 5 years old, having just opened in the summer of 1999. The resort was Holiday Inn's first all-suite hotel, featuring 800 suites, 2 pools, water playgrounds, a restaurant, and a food court. The hotel was located just east of the Walt Disney World Resort, and transportation was provided to all 4 Disney parks. Nickelodeon had originally considered constructing a new resort themselves, but decided against this due to their constant fear of failure. Orlando was of course the perfect location for the resort's pilot test. It had a huge tourist population of families and young children, and the company had 2 attractions at Universal Studios Florida, Nickelodeon Studios and the newly opened Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast. The Holiday Inn was located closer to Walt Disney World than it was to Universal Studios, but Nickelodeon would take what they could get. During the announcement, Nickelodeon revealed that they had plans to build 4 more resorts throughout the country. The transformation of the Holiday Inn Family Suites Resort was to be completed in early 2005, and the renovation would cost an estimated $20 million. Nickelodeon began advertising the resort leading up to its release, and parents began to book their stays at the new hotel.
Did you hear? Nickelodeon has built a hotel just for you. Opening this Memorial Day, the brand new Nickelodeon Family Suites by Holiday Inn in Orlando, Florida. You get your own bedroom. Sweet. 2 humongous pools with slides and flumes, a giant arcade, character breakfasts, and live Nick entertainment. Parents can book reservations by logging on to www.nickhotel.com or call 1-866-GO-TO-NICK.
Let me call that phone number. Somebody call that phone number. Is it still in service?
Or call 1-866-GO-TO-NICK.
Somebody call that phone number right now. Somebody call that phone number. Is that still in service? It'd be really funny if it was still in service.
On March 9, 2005, the Nickelodeon Family Suites Holiday Inn, commonly referred to as the Nick Hotel, opened its doors. Guests would walk up to the bright orange resort, with characters peeking through the window of the main entrance. This led to the lobby and check-in desk. There were 4 room layouts that guests could choose from. The first was a 1-bedroom suite designed for 1 to 2 people. This included a king-sized bed, full kitchen, and a dishwasher. The second was a 2-bedroom kid suite. This included a private parents' room, a living area, a bathroom, and a themed kids' room. The kids' room would either feature a bunk bed or 2 twin beds, and the rooms were themed to different Nickelodeon properties.
Those sheets are hideous, bro. Holy moly. Why did they decide to go with that? That's gross. That looked yucky.
Such
Why?
as SpongeBob, The Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, Dora the Explorer, Rugrats, Danny Phantom, and more. Guests could request a specific character room and would be assigned to it if available. The kids' rooms also featured a television, and some came with a PlayStation 2. Guests could rent games
Yes,
from the
too.
hotel for $5 or bring their own. There was also a CD player and an activity table in most of the suites. Unlike the parents' room, there was no door separating the kids' room from the living area. This was due to a county law restricting doors on kid suites for safety reasons. The parents' room was unthemed and featured 2 side tables, a closet, a 25-inch TV, and a makeup desk. The main living area featured a pull-out couch, a rocking chair, a dining table, and a 25-inch TV. The third suite layout was a 3-bedroom kid suite. This came with 2
Hold on.
private parent rooms, both with king-sized beds, a themed kids' room with a bunk bed and pull-out cot, a full kitchen, a full dining room, and 2 bathrooms. The fourth and final layout was Nick Hotel's honeymoon suite, called the Nick at Night Suite.
Oh, yeah.
This included a heart-shaped whirlpool, mood lighting, scented bath lotion, an extra-large shower,
Shower for 2, baby.
and only 1 private bedroom.
Leave those kids at home.
For some reason, these rooms didn't last very long, and it seemed
I wonder why. Jimmy Neutron mentioned, yeah, look at him, he's
that
right
they were
there.
discontinued within a
Got a
few weeks
blast.
of the hotel's opening. All suites had the option of a wake-up call from a Nickelodeon character, and simple room service was available. The suites
What is that menu?
had the option of a wake-up call from a Nickelodeon character, and simple room
Wow, these are expensive for back then. Holy moly. It is room service. They have baby back ribs? What? Wow, these are expensive. Holy moly. I guess room service though, why? These are like restaurant prices today. My goodness.
service was available. The suites opened from the outside, resulting in the kids' suites having no windows. 14 6-story buildings housed the suites. The main structure comprised of 9 buildings, enclosing the lagoon pool, and the other 5 buildings enclosed the Oasis pool. The main area also featured the lobby, the fitness center, and Studio B, which was a space for special events such as conferences, birthday parties, and starting in 2009 for inexplicable reasons, weddings. The lagoon pool
What?
featured a basketball court, mini golf, a pool and a kiddie area, the Lagoon Bar and Grill poolside restaurant, and a large water park,
Ugh.
the main attraction for children staying at the resort. The water park featured large cutouts of Nickelodeon characters, multiple water slides, water features, and a large water bucket at the top of the structure. This would periodically fill up, tip over, and douse guests with water. And at certain times of the day, the water would be colored green to simulate slime. This was treated as a special event, with hotel employees gathering everyone and getting them excited for the mass sliming. The Oasis pool area featured another poolside bar, a kiddie area, a spa, and a less elaborate water park. This was supposed to be the more relaxing area than the often crowded lagoon pool. In between the 2 hotel structures would be a building referred to as the mall. The mall featured an arcade, a kids spa, and a gift shop, which sold both Nickelodeon and Universal Studios merchandise. There was a 4D theater, which had a 3D screen, moving seats, bubbles, and water effects. This would show a SpongeBob 4D film, as well as 15-minute
Back when 4D
highlight
was a
reels
big
from
thing.
recent movies, such as the Ice Age franchise, and later, Pacific Rim. There was also a theater
Why?
named Studio Nick for game shows and live character shows. When the hotel opened, Studio Nick had 2 game shows, Who Knows Best and Nick Live. Who Knows Best was a
Like
game
Double
show
Dare.
that tested how well families knew each other, while Nick Live was a show in which families would compete against other families in physical challenges and trivia, with the winner getting slimed. A smaller scale version of this show called Nick Live Poolside would be performed by the Lagoon Pool, with a small dunk tank dedicated to the show. The Nick Hotel also had a wide array of dining options. The mall had its own food court, with restaurants rotating in and out from time to time. Restaurants included A&W, Pizza Hut Express, Antonio's Pizzeria,
A&W? A like the root beer brands?
time to time.
A&W?
Restaurants included
Like the root beer brand. They make food? Since when? They do. That? I didn't know that. Yes, sir. They do burgers. I didn't know A&W was a food brand. I thought they just made root beer. You root beer floats? They gotta do root beer floats. Yeah, they do. Okay, cool. Interesting. Interesting.
A&W, Pizza Hut Express, Antonio's Pizzeria, and Starbucks. There was a buffet open for breakfast and lunch, an adult bar named the Nick at Night Lounge, and the hotel's signature restaurant, the Nicktoons Cafe. This reservation-only
Nick Boom
character
Buffet.
dining restaurant served a breakfast and dinner buffet. The main appeal of the Nicktoons Cafe was, of course, the character meet and greets.
And
The cat message is not showing up for me. The chat message popped up, mate. See. Just say it's just YouTube playing false post. Okay.
now a brief tangent on Nickelodeon character costumes.
The Nick
Like
Hotel allowed
Scheme.
guests to meet many of their favorite
the
Nickelodeon
bag.
characters. There were meet and greets set up throughout the hotel, Studio Nick character shows such as SpongeBob Alive, and dance parties in the pool area. The art of turning
That's
a
really cool.
two-dimensional cartoon into a three-dimensional walk-around costume is underappreciated. If done correctly, it can bring a beloved character to life. If done incorrectly, it is creepy. Today, Disney's walk-around characters rarely come off as unsettling. This is because of the talented actors that portray them, the brilliant artists that design them, and years of trial and error.
Hey.
Nickelodeon did not have the benefit of the latter. All of the Nick Hotel character costumes seem to be designed in such a way that the characters appear as though they are always smiling for a picture. However, this only works if they are staring directly at the camera, which they almost never are. On the other hand, Disney's costumes are designed to be multi-purposed. For instance, when Mickey is smiling for a picture, he will tilt his head up slightly. By design, he appears to be smiling more from this angle. When he tilts his head back down, he is still smiling, but it is more neutral, as opposed to relentless and terrifying. Also, most Disney costumes are designed for some amount of neck movement. This gives the characters more life, as they don't appear as walking sculptures. Many of Nickelodeon's costumes featured heads that were too large to move. This resulted in a surplus of premium-grade nightmare fuel. Made worse if the children actually did have a nightmare, they would turn on their bed light to reveal the character staring at them while they sleep. In short, every
funny.
character at the Nick Hotel looked like they were on drugs at all times. Characters appearing at the resort included SpongeBob, Squidward, Sandy, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Dora, Boots, Diego, Blue, Danny Phantom, Aang, Cosmo, Wanda, Jimmy Neutron, Angelica, the Power Rangers, Teenage
That's
Mutant
cool.
Ninja Turtles,
Those are also
Lily
cool.
and Geo of Team Umizoomi, Ming
Yep.
Ming Duck Ling, Fanboy and Chum Chum, Chase
Yep,
and
I know all
Marshall,
these.
the Paw Patrol dogs, Pablo,
Yep.
the
Yep.
Bubble Guppies, and Little
Yep.
Bill. The costume
Don't allow
designs
'em.
improved over time, but they were still not optimal for character shows.
But Squidward, today is the day that we honor the greatest sandwich in the seven seas, the Krabby Patty.
Behind the mall, there was a man-made lake. While it was not accessible to guests, various statues of Nickelodeon characters were placed on it. The hotel also had Christmas festivities named the Let It Snow Celebration. The resort was decorated in bright Christmas lights, and it offered hot chocolate and s'mores around fire pits. Many of the
That's
walk-around
cute.
characters were dressed in seasonal costumes, and there was a special
Aww. 5% Power Rangers sounds cool. Exactly, dude. The Power Rangers
Studio
were
Nick
cool.
character show called Celebrate Nickmas. So, how much did it cost?
Soulmate what? Excuse me? Oh, okay. I was like, what? Huh?
There was a special Studio Nick character show called Celebrate Nickmas. So, how much did it cost? The renovation to create the resort ended up costing around $25 million, and a total of 777 suites were available to book.
Hey,
Prices fluctuated throughout the year. A two-bedroom kid suite cost between $135 and $275 a night.
that's not bad, actually. For a resort, that's really not bad. The room service was atrocious, and the rooms look awful. Like, look at these couches. They're so terrible looking. But for 175 to 135 to 275 a night, that's not bad.
While a 3-bedroom kid suite costs between $300 and $600 a night.
That's a little more ludicrous.
The buffet was around $10 for adults, $8 for kids, and free for anyone under 12. The Nicktoons Cafe character dining cost $17 for an adult and $10 for kids. An all-access wristband in later years would allow guests access to the 4D experience and other activities in the mall area. This cost around $20. So if you did the math, a family of 4 spending 2 nights and a full day at the hotel would cost over $750 during peak season.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot of
A
money.
full day at the hotel would cost over $750 during peak season. While this was expensive, the Nick Hotel operated as a resort, with enough activities and attractions to keep guests on property during their stay. This was different than Disney,
$700
as more
though?
often than not, Walt Disney World Resort hotel guests will be purchasing tickets to one or more of the property's theme parks. On April 30th, 2005, just over a month after the Nick Hotel opened its doors, Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios Florida closed. A time capsule had been buried outside of the studio in 1992. Kids voted on what they wanted to be placed in the capsule, and items such as a Back to the Future VHS, an MC Hammer CD, and a Nintendo Game Boy were buried. The capsule was to remain for 50 years, to be opened in 2042. After Nickelodeon...
That's in 15 years? 16 years. In 16 years, almost 16 years to the day. You guys ready? You guys ready for the Nintendo time capsule? Or not Nintendo, for the Nickelodeon time capsule to be opened? You guys ready?
Studios closed. The time capsule was moved to the Nick Hotel, where it was reburied and displayed for guests. The Nickelodeon Hotel continued to operate normally for over a decade, adding new entertainment options and shows periodically. In May of 2012, Double Dare Live, a new game show at Studio Nick based off of the hit TV show, debuted. In 2014, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Summer of the Shell began. Some rooms were rethemed to the heroes, and a laser maze based off of the TV show was added to the mall. In 2015, the Nick Hotel celebrated its 10th anniversary, but just a month after the celebration ended, the Nick Hotel would receive some devastating news. On January 29, 2016, Nickelodeon announced that the Nickelodeon Family Suites would be rebranded back into a Holiday Inn. The news, while sad for many, was not necessarily shocking. There were a few signs that the Nick Hotel might not be around for much longer. For one, Nickelodeon had a severely reduced presence at Universal Studios Florida, since Nickelodeon Studios had closed in 2005 and Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast had closed in 2011. While walk-around characters still appeared at the park, there was no attraction dedicated to Nickelodeon. This made marketing the resort and the park together slightly more difficult. And more than anything, it was an indication that an era of Nickelodeon was over. By 2016, the original branding was dated, as all of the shows, except SpongeBob and the Fairly OddParents, had ended. Another issue was that the concept for the resort was flawed from the beginning. The Nick Hotel operated like an all-inclusive resort, similar to those found in tropical destinations. The problem was that the Nick Hotel was in the middle of Orlando. This made guests feel claustrophobic, as the resort was not sitting next to an ocean. They also wanted to go experience Orlando's many attractions. But for the price of the Nick Hotel, guests needed to stay on property to get their money's worth. However, these were all minor issues. The biggest reason for the debranding was Nickelodeon's new partnership with Charisma Hotels. This was created to build Nickelodeon resorts throughout the world. The company had never gone through with the plans for expansion with Holiday Inn, most likely due to the Nick Hotel not being a massive success. The resort was popular, but it was clear that the Holiday Inn concept wouldn't work outside of Orlando. The first Nickelodeon resort with Charisma Hotels would open in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic later in 2016. The new resort would have many attractions similar to the Nick Hotel, but it had a more elegant and subtle design and was located on a beach. The Punta Cana resort was met with glowing reviews, and another resort is set to open in Riviera Maya, Mexico in 2019. Since Nickelodeon was focusing on a more luxurious resort brand, they decided to end their licensing contract with Holiday Inn. There was also one more reason for the closure. The hotel was not in great shape.
The Nickelodeon Hotel, 10 years later. These images may be disturbing.
That's funny. That's sad. That's gross. Yucky. Yucky. That's kind of funny, Craig Miller. Oh, that's scary. Gross. 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 Oh yeah, gross. Gross.
By
Gross.
2016, the Nick Hotel desperately needed a renovation. This meant either updating all of the Nickelodeon characters and properties, or removing them completely. The timing just happened to be perfect to end the contract. The resort was to receive a $30 million renovation along with the debranding. It was set to reopen on April 17, 2016. However, construction delays pushed the project back nearly 2 months. Having been announced in January that it was to close, this put the Nick Hotel in a state of limbo for 5 months, and the hotel stayed open for most of the transformation. During this time, certain activities were discontinued, buildings were being repainted, and logos were being removed. The time capsule was once again dug up and moved to the Nickelodeon studios in Burbank. Less people were staying at the hotel during this time, and the resort felt abandoned. Many of the themed kid suites remained, despite the rest of the hotel being given a blue paint job and replacing all Nickelodeon logos with Holiday Inn. Many of the TVs and appliances had not been replaced since the hotel opened. The mall area was almost completely silent, with many of the attractions and restaurants being renovated or removed. Finally, on June 1, 2016, the resort reopened as the Holiday Inn Orlando Suites. The hotel still hosts family game shows, the food court reopened with some new restaurants, the water bucket is now dyed dark blue at certain times, the 4D theater now shows some generic movie, the laser maze is now themed to Batman, and the gift shop now sells both Nickelodeon and Disney merchandise. The prices have also dropped significantly, now typically below $100 a night for a room with a kid suite. The Nick Hotel was an interesting experiment to say the least, because it didn't not work. Attendance was consistent, it wasn't completely neglected by either company, and it avoided what would have probably been a disastrous expansion. At the same time, it wasn't perfect. The design was cheesy, the activities were immature, and there was little to nothing for parents. Plus, Holiday Inn, known more for having economical prices rather than luxurious facilities, was probably not the best choice for the partnership. Nickelodeon made the right decision in partnering with Charisma Hotels, and it is possible that many new Nickelodeon resorts will open in the future. While these new resorts best the Nickelodeon family suites in almost every category, it is still disappointing to see such an elaborate entertainment experience disappear. Seeing the debranded hotel, a skeleton of what it once was, is devastating to those that stayed there and the many more that wanted to. While it might be gone, the Nick Hotel leaves behind a decade of memories of Nickelodeon fans having the best day ever.
Reshine! Good video. Short video, but good video. But one more. American Idol. American Idol. That's American Idol. American Idol. The lad.
It's the early 2000s, and being famous sounds like a good idea. Fame and fortune are timeless objectives, but the pop stars of the late 90s and early aughts had reached unprecedented levels of notoriety and denim. Innovations in technology, such as portable devices, the internet, and denim, were making celebrities more accessible to their fans than ever, while at the same time, elevating their social status to a point that many contemporary commentators felt that the only apt comparison was idolatry. To many, these were gods, untouchable beings of talent and fame, but some believed that they had a chance at reaching this status themselves. They just needed to be discovered. Unfortunately, the only surefire way to become absurdly famous at the turn of the millennium was to have starred in the 1989 revival of the Mickey Mouse Club. If you weren't a Mouseketeer, you could try forming a boy band or a girl group and pray that you were the best, the most attractive, or ideally, both. Short of these strategies, the path to stardom was less clear, but that was about to change. Throughout the 20th century, music competitions had often elevated hopeful nobodies to stardom. For instance, Frank Sinatra got his start on Major Beau's Amateur Hour, a radio talent competition.
That's true.
With the emergence of television,
I didn't know
competitions
that.
such as Eurovision and Star Search would be popular among audiences and successful in finding stars. However, there were very few active singing competitions on the air by the late 90s, but a new wave was on its way. In 2000, ABC began airing a music reality competition named Making the Band, and another format, Pop Stars, would begin airing in the UK and the US in early 2001. Both of these shows sought to find new talent and form the next big music group. Both programs heavily integrated elements from the new reality television genre, and the winners of these programs would be immediately signed to the record label of the show's producers. In early
That's kinda cool.
2001, the winners of Pop Stars UK formed the group Hearsay, which according to the
Hi,
Observer's
bro.
relevancy test was a massive success, as they had attracted one stalker. And according to my relevancy test, all 5 members have Wikipedia pages, but only 3 have photos attached. B-. Pop Stars US formed Eden's Crush in early 2001, which launched the career of future Pussycat
Don't know that
Dolls
one.
lead singer Nicole Scherzinger. But unfortunately, only 2 of its members have Wikipedia pages, and only Nicole has a photo. F. Making the Band on ABC had formed O-Town. Of the 5
I don't know
original
that one
members
either.
and 1 replacement, 2 Wikipedia pages, 1 photo. Also F. Wikipedia is not always correct when it comes to facts, but the Wikipedia Music Group relevancy test does not lie. In 2001, British music and television mogul Simon Fuller noticed the interest in these new programs. Fuller was best known as the manager of the Spice Girls, until he was fired by the group in 1997. Seeking other ventures, Fuller attempted to create a music competition and star-launching format of his own, which would be named Pop Idol. The show would begin airing in the UK on ITV in late 2001. Pop Idol combined multiple successful elements of other music competitions, with 3 key differences that set it apart. First, unlike Pop Stars and Making the Band, the goal of Pop Idol was to find a singular star, not form a group. Second, the show would have live episodes featuring the competitors performing. Third, and most importantly, Pop Idol would allow the audience to vote and decide its winner. Fuller hoped that the show's format would be popular enough to launch the career of the UK's next big recording star. But the show's popularity would receive a major boost from the harsh critiques of one of its judges, music executive Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell. You said his name. You say his name 3 times and he appears behind you and calls you garbage and punches you in the face. You say his name 3 times and he appears in front of you with a knife and stabs you in the neck for daring to question him.
Mark yourself out of 10 on that one.
About 7 with a bit of a sore throat.
2.
Cal became known for his honest and often cruel feedback to performers, and Pop Idol would make a celebrity out of Simon before the show's actual winner had been chosen. Pop Idol was an immediate hit and was watched by 10 million viewers a week. Over 15% of the country's population tuned into the competition. The 2 finalists instantly became charting musicians. The winner, Will Young, immediately broke the record for the fastest-selling single in British history, outperforming the Beatles in this category. The show's success in the UK led Fuller and Cowell to pitch a version to networks in the US, eventually convincing Fox to air a season of the competition. The show, renamed American Idol: The Search for a Superstar, began airing on June 11, 2002. American Idol would feature a panel of 3 judges. Simon Cowell would also serve on the American Idol panel, bringing the same surly energy that had made him famous on
Nothing. You say his name 3 times, he appears in front of you with a gun and yells, "You're trash," and shoots you in the
Pop
eye.
Idol.
I can honestly say you are the worst singer in America.
Cowell would be joined by Randy Jackson, a bass player and music producer, and Paula Abdul, a pop star who had found success in the late 80s and early 90s. 2 hosts, Ryan Seacrest and Brian Dunkelman, would
I'm not buff
guide
those.
contestants and audiences through the competition. The first step in finding the new American Idol was an elaborate open call audition held in multiple
big
cities
Cowell, the
throughout
big
the
C.
country. Thousands of prospective contestants were judged by casting directors, and a select few of these singers made it in front of the 3 celebrity judges and potentially onto national television. The contestants that made it to the filmed auditions were either good enough to move forward or bad enough to make compelling TV, with a handful of singers that were just okay to make the process feel realistic. Throughout these first 2 episodes, Cal showcased his signature snark, shocking the contestants and his fellow judges with how far he was willing to go to shut down the hopeful singers.
Well, Jennifer, here's a new word. That was extraordinary.
Thank you.
Extraordinarily bad. You taking singing lessons?
There was this lady up in Montana.
Do Do you have a lawyer?
No, I don't have a lawyer.
Get a lawyer and sue her.
I thought you were fantastic.
That's
I
funny.
didn't.
The harshness of these critiques was an immediate point of discussion around the country, as was the poor singing.
He's kind of mellowed out over the years, but he used to be really harsh. He's kind of calmed down a bit, but he used to be real, like a nice. He used to be like a harsh as a knife. But he's kind of like chilled out and relaxed a bit over the years.
Ability and lack of self-awareness of some of those auditioning. These humorous auditions were presented alongside contestants with true talent, many of which were immediately relatable to audiences, showcasing their singing abilities, confidence, and denim.
I like this. Is that a skirt?
This needs to be my pants.
The show had an obvious bias towards singers who matched the ridiculous beauty standards of the early 2000s, a bias that the program stated explicitly and justified as a necessary attribute for any potential idol.
The problem I have is that you don't look like an American Idol.
And she just sang an Aretha Franklin song.
I do not believe that if Aretha Franklin entered this competition, she would win it. Now, I don't make the rules.
I remember this. I remember him saying that. He got a lot of flack for
Ellen
that.
McDonald, writing for the Miami Herald, said, quote, American Idol takes our cultural obsession with celebrities, strips it bare, abuses and humiliates it, then redresses it in its own mode and sends it smiling back at us. This was written 2 weeks after the show premiered. Evelyn, pace yourself. This show might be around for a while. Whether it was a genuine interest in vocal talent or some biological yearning for the age of public executions, audiences were hooked on American Idol from the very beginning. The program was the breakout hit of the summer of 2002, and as the competition progressed, ratings continued to climb. Of the 10,000 auditions, 121 singers were asked to come to Los Angeles for Hollywood Week, a grueling audition process in which the 3 judges narrowed the field down to just 30 contestants. After this, the true appeal of the program began, as from this point on, it would be up to the audience watching at home to decide which contestants moved on and which were eliminated. The 30 contestants were split into 3 groups of 10, with an episode dedicated to each group. 3 contestants would emerge from each pool, with an additional wildcard show allowing for 1 additional contestant to round out the top 10. From there, 2 contestants were eliminated to create a top 8, and after that, only 1 contestant was eliminated each week. Finally, on September 4th, 2002, the Season 1 finale of American Idol aired, and Kelly Clarkson was announced as the show's first winner. As with Pop Idol, the promise of the show was fulfilled, and Clarkson was immediately elevated to mainstream stardom. She signed a record deal under Simon Fuller, and soon she was a legitimate, charting musician. It was completely fabricated, planned from the beginning, yet it was more authentic than most industry success stories. The show was filled with these dichotomies, the cruel mixed with the wholesome, the staged mixed with the democratic. The value or morality of the program was up for debate, but it was certainly gripping television audiences. Just 1 season in, the show was already an overwhelming success, both in terms of ratings and star creation. But the phenomenon that would be American Idol was just beginning. While thousands of Americans were dreaming of receiving a golden ticket to the real Hollywood, a fake Hollywood in the swamps of Florida was struggling with its identity. Disney MGM Studios theme park had been put into development in the mid-1980s, shortly after Michael Eisner had become CEO of Walt Disney Productions. Eisner had come to the company from Paramount Pictures, and he brought with him energy, creativity, and knowledge from a pitch he had been given by MCA in July of 1981 detailing their plans for Universal Studios production facilities, Grand Tour, and theme park in Central Florida. They had plans for a recreation of a Golden Age Hollywood Boulevard, a stunt show, a sound effects demonstration. They wanted him and Paramount on board. He had been shown the plans. He knew the plans. Allegedly. Less than a year after Eisner took the helm at Disney, plans were announced for a new Walt Disney World attraction, named the Disney MGM Studio Tour. Disney planned to build production facilities and sound stages for both live-action and animation production. This new experience would also feature a recreation of a Golden Age Hollywood Boulevard, a stunt show, a sound effects demonstration, and more. Disney entered into a licensing agreement with MGM to use their name as well as properties from their film library. Similar licensing deals with Paramount and Sony were signed to create a more authentic and modern Hollywood attraction. In late 1986, MCA would finally greenlight the construction of Universal Studios Florida. Due to Disney MGM's similarities to Universal's original plans, MCA evolved their concept to feature more large-scale attractions resembling those found at Disney parks. Meanwhile, the Disney MGM Studios Tour was developing into the Disney MGM Studios theme park, which would now feature a tram tour to closer resemble Universal Studios in Hollywood. A key feature of both parks would be the film production facilities being built on site. but Disney MGM was relying on theirs to be the star attraction, with the signature studio tour to last 2 hours. Disney would beat Universal to the punch, with the Disney MGM Studios theme park opening on May 1st.
Do companies still film at MGM? No, they don't. They removed the film studios. Okay.
1989. Along with a studio tour, the park would feature a dark ride depicting scenes from famous films, as well as a stunt show themed to the Indiana Jones franchise. The park also
I saw
offered
this. It was
several
cool.
themed dining experiences, and more modest shows and demonstrations were scattered throughout the park. Just off of the Mickey Mouse-shaped hub was Superstar Television, a show in which audience participants were inserted into their favorite television programs through the use of physical sets and clever compositing. Over the course of the 25-minute show, guests would be inserted into vintage shows such as I Love Lucy and The Howdy Doody Show, and contemporary programs such as Cheers and The Golden Girls. The Disney MGM Studios theme park was an overwhelming success in terms of attendance, but it lacked the breadth of attractions that guests had come to expect from a Disney park.
I'm being paused.
Disney already had plans to address this. The popular Disneyland attraction Star Tours was already under construction at the park, and a new Muppets area and attraction was on the way. However, Disney MGM had bigger problems than guest satisfaction. The park was reverse engineered. Rather than a tour being added to an operating movie studio, an operating movie studio was created so that it could be toured. Producers on the West Coast were cautiously optimistic about Orlando becoming the Hollywood of the East, but many were skeptical on Disney's dedication to operating Disney MGM as an actual studio. Less than a year into the park's life, issues had already been found in the design that made production difficult. The New York street set was placed too close to the park's signature Catastrophe Canyon tram stop, which simulated practical film effects such as pyrotechnic explosions and a flood. Sound from this area bled into New York Street and other portions of the backlot, which rendered these filming locations, quote, virtually useless, which in turn hurt the tram tour,
Are we
because now
stupid?
there
Why
were
they do
less
that?
productions to tour, which was ironic because the reason there were no productions was because of the tram tour. Throughout the 1990s, in almost every instance in which Disney had the choice between improving the vitality of Disney MGM as an operating movie studio and improving the quality of Disney MGM as a theme park, they almost always chose theme park. In 1994, a new expansion named Sunset Boulevard added more shops and the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror thrill ride. In 1998, Superstar Television was more shops and the Twilight Zone Tower.
I read that right. It was really fun. The line for it was horrendous, but it was really fun because the reason the line was so bad is you're standing out in the Florida sun and heat with no shade, and it was pretty miserable. It was fun.
Of Terror thrill ride. In 1998, Superstar Television was closed to make way for Doug Live, which opened on March 15,
wasn't there
1999.
when I went.
Doug Live was based on the television series Doug, and the show translated perfectly to stage, with no issues at all. It closed 2 years later with no planned replacement, leaving this theater space at a prime location in the park empty. In September of 2001, Disney MGM Studios unveiled the Sorcerer's Hat, a huge hat themed after the iconic cat from the Sorcerer's Apprentice segment in the 1940 film Fantasia. The Sorcerer's Hat was constructed to celebrate the 100 Years of Magic celebration at Walt Disney World, celebrating what would have been the 100th birthday of Walt Disney. Surprising to many guests, the hat would not be deconstructed after the celebration, and it would instead become an icon of the park, and a signifier of a very specific period in Disney MGM history. one that could be described as a middle period, a slump, or even a dark age. At the same time that Disney MGM Studios was entering this dark age, American Idol was entering its golden age. After the success of the show's first season, a second season of American Idol was quickly put into production, moving the program up from its summer slot to begin airing in January of 2003.
You sounded like a dog dying.
The next American Idol.
Season 1 had not only created
Let's see, I was
multiple
born.
stars, but it had motivated thousands of prospective ones. The open call for auditions saw 70,000 people try out for the show, and the production had to begin renting out stadiums to handle the crowds. The show started splitting the process over multiple nights, with 3 episodes dedicated just to auditions in Season 2. The number of singers moving on to Hollywood Week was increased from 121 to 234, and this stage now featured multiple elimination rounds, resulting in 32 singers moving on to the semifinals. Other changes this season included Brian Dunkelman quitting the show, leaving Ryan Seacrest as the sole host. Another exit from the show was the foldable audition table with its Party City-esque tablecloth. This was replaced with a more sturdy and sleek-looking table that took a lot of the edge and rawness out of the production. This season also allowed viewers to send their votes in via text message, which one would think was due to young people preferring this method over calling in, but rather, it was cell carriers that were using shows such as American Idol to interest young people in SMS. The rise in texting among young Americans in this period would actually be attributed in part to American Idol pushing it. Another technology evolving alongside the show was digital media players, a landscape that was dominated by Apple's iPod and iTunes. This added an unprecedented level of freedom to the music listening experience, and the instantaneous delivery of singles and albums to audiences would be huge for Idol, which itself was already expediting the path to...
This was all killed by music streaming. Music streaming knocked this process out of the water. Anyways, we're gonna stop here for now. And I have to go to the bathroom and wash my hands and throw away my trash real quick. And then we'll probably play some Mass Effect. I was gonna script write, but I kinda don't want to script write right now. I want to play some Mass Effect 2. Yes, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and wash my hands real quick. I'll be right back. Something we just decided here. Another tape. Let me load up the game. A second here. We're probably going to play very long. Because I do have work in the morning. But I do want to play Mass Effect 2. At least start it. It's so loud. But yeah. Pulling it just takes me right to the main menu. That'd be really convenient. That I'm worried is doing stuff. Okay, push the button! Why does it do that? Why is it so bright? It turned on HDR, and so everything's all bright. Then I have to leave for school. Alright, good luck with school. Okay, why is it so bright? Maybe I could... Nope. We're gonna... Hey, we can see the game. Extras, options, please. Graphics. Can I turn off HDR? Full screen. Wireless, please. Motion blur off. These things on, that's fine. Film grain off. Okay, all the rest of this is fine. Calibration. Please turn that off. Hey, so why didn't it... I don't even think you guys can see this on your end. I don't even think you guys can see HDR on your end. It is very, very blasphemy, though. Oh, yeah. HDR not detected. HDR not detected. What do you mean? Okay, let me do this. That fix it. Not detected. Okay. Not detecting. I have to reboot it. Let me try rebooting it. Hold on. HDR not detected. Okay. Bye. Because this turned on? Is it because... My monitor is not in HDR mode for some reason. Okay. I'm quite kinda confused. Why? I'm a little confused. Why we're not getting HDR now. Not detected. Okay, let me mess with my monitor settings. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do Windows HDR. Not detected. Why? I don't understand. Why isn't it working? Oh, now it is. Now it's working. Does this look atrocious for you guys? Like, does this look bad for y'all? I don't know, the X account was good for me. Let me see, how does it look on stream? Yeah, that actually doesn't look too bad on stream either. Huh. That was good. But the sound. These need to be at like 50. 50. 50. Cool. The rest of these should be fine. Controls. Sensitivities, turn that up to like 100. Camera sensitivity, high. Default, southpaw. I'm not playing with the controller. Okay. Gameplay. Normal, auto level up, squad power usage on, subtitles. 1. Now, this is totally just affecting me. Like, I can't see that logo anymore. Yeah, like, I straight up can't see that logo anymore. I know you guys can, I can't. Interesting. I mean, it looks good for me. It kinda looks good on stream, too, so I don't know. We let it rip. Alright, mid-game. Ah! Important. Waggy! Waggy's here! Waggy! Continue. Wait. Name. Continue. Wait, hold on. I wanted to wait. Hold on, wait, go back. Wait, hold on. I wasn't done. I wasn't done. I wasn't done. I wasn't done. I wanted to read through that. I wanted to read through that. I wasn't done. Yeah, see, like, this looks good. The color, or y'all can't see it. The colors on this for me look really good. Rank 55. Did I animal call? Animal licorice? Like a skull? Vanguard. Paragon. Hey! Follow the Paragon path. I was a Paragon. I was 55. Wu and G. Where Wu and G? I was Vanguard. Follow the Paragon's path. Survived the mission. Ashley Williams died. Gotcha was saved. Anderson was erected to the council. We are Woogie. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet, by the way.
Shepard did everything right. More than we could have hoped for.
Commander Shepard uncovered the truth.
And still, it's not enough.
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack.
But they're sending him to fight Geth. Geth. We both know they're not the real threat. The Reapers are still out there.
And it's up to us to stop them.
The Council will never trust Cerberus. They'll never accept our help, even after everything humanity has accomplished. But Shepard...
How's it lighting?
They'll follow him. He's a hero, a bloody icon. But he's just one man. If we lose Shepard, humanity might well follow.
Then
why is it lagging?
That we don't lose him.
Why is it lagging? Then when the Delta Sane got attacked on Citadel, the Galactic Community shuttles rebuild. The Alliance fleet made a tremendous sacrifice to save the Citadel Council under humanity membership in their prestigious group. Now the Council is forced to respond to evidence of that the Reapers, enormous machines that eradicate all organic civilization every 50,000 years, have returned. To follow the rumors, I wasn't able to read that. That was way too fast for me to read. It's not Mendy. We'll go back and read that here in a second.
Disengaging FTL drives. Emission sinks active. Board is green. We are running silent.
We're wasting our time. 4 days searching up and down this sector, and we haven't found any sign of Geth activity.
3 ships went missing here in the past month. Something happened to them.
My money's on slavers. The Terminus system is crawling with them.
Picking up something on the long-range scanner. Unidentified vessel. Looks like a cruiser.
Doesn't match any known signatures.
Cruiser is changing course. Now on intercept trajectory.
Can't be. Stealth systems are engaged. There's no way a Geth ship could possibly...
It's not the Geth. Brace for evasive maneuvers!
Presley!
Presley, no!
Kinetic barriers down. Multiple hull breaches. Weapons offline. Somebody get that fire out.
No! No! Is that Liara?
Shepard!
Distress beacon is ready for launch.
Will the Alliance get here in time?
The Alliance won't abandon us. We just need to hold on. Get everyone onto the escape shuttle.
Joker's still in the cockpit. He won't evacuate. I'm not leaving either.
I need you to get the crew onto the evac shuttles. I'll take care of Joker.
Shepard!
Liara, go. Now.
Aye, aye.
I like the armor. It looks really cool.
Everybody in! Go, go, go!
Not the Normandy, no! Ship! Okay, before we continue, I want to read what that said. One month after the devastating and Geth attack on the Citadel, the galactic community struggles to rebuild. The Alliance fleet made a tremendous sacrifice to save the Citadel Council and earned humanity membership in their prestigious group. Now the Council is forced to respond to the evidence that the Reapers, enormous machines that eradicate all organic civilization every 50,000 years, have returned. To quell the rumors, the Council has sent Commander Shepard in the Normandy to wipe out the last pockets of Geth resistance. Officially, they blame the invasion on the Geth and their leader, our rogue Spectre. But for those who know the truth, the search for answers is just beginning. Out of the cockpit, let's go!
This is SSV Normandy. We've suffered heavy damage from an unknown enemy.
I'll tell you what, the game looks a lot better than Mass Effect 1. Bam! We're in space! The game looks so much better than Mass Effect 1, I'll tell you that. Like, visually, it looks really good to me. Joker, how are you still alive? Is there a field?
Come on, Joker. We have to get out of here.
No, I won't abandon the Normandy. I can still save her.
The Normandy's lost. Going down with the ship won't change that.
Yeah, okay. Help me up. They're coming around for another attack. Ah, watch the arm. Commander! Shepard!
Oh? If I go into space. Please. There goes our ship. I don't really care. Like Halo. Like Halo 3. We're going back on re-entry. Magic. Cool. Ah!
Just another routine mission. Why do they always say that before a mission? Of course it's routine. You haven't done anything yet. It's everything that happens along the way. The choices you make, the paths you choose, that turn the routine into anything but. Of course, that's how it started. A routine mission, answering a distress call. And look where that got me. We were testing out the Normandy, Captain Anderson's new ship, when the distress call came in. An Alliance patrol on Eden Prime had been attacked. They'd seen something they couldn't explain. And whatever it was massive. I hit the ground with my lieutenant, Caden Olenko. A good kid, loyal, by the book, with a talent for biotics. We came across the lone survivor of the patrol, Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams. A soldier to the core. Tough, disciplined, ready to take on whatever came her way. Ashley joined up with us and took us to the spot where she lost her squad. That's when we saw it. The ship. Like nothing I'd ever seen. It was massive, scorching the colony and everything around it as it blasted away. We followed the path of destruction to an artifact, a beacon left by a long-dead race called the Protheans. The colony had dug it up, and whoever attacked them had tried to take it. Chief Williams made the mistake of getting too close. It hit her with some type of energy. I grabbed her and threw her out of the way. That's when it hit me. Hard. Every muscle in my body went rigid. I couldn't move, could barely breathe. Everything went black. And then I saw something. A vision. Dream. A nightmare. By the time I woke up, we were halfway to the Citadel on our way to meet the Council. I was expected to explain what I'd seen. Anderson came along. So did Adina, our political representative on the Citadel. With those two heavyweights, it seemed reasonable we could persuade the Council that the ship we'd seen was a potential threat, as was the individual behind the attacks. The main suspect for the Eden Prime massacre was a Turian Spectre named Saren. He'd been seen by one of the survivors from the colony at Eden Prime, and there was some evidence to suggest that the ship was connected to Saren. But even Adina's pointed accusations weren't enough to convince the Council. They just couldn't believe one of their chosen elite Spectres could be guilty of something like that. They needed proof, which meant I needed proof. Fortunately, I wasn't alone in my search. Garrus, another Turian, wanted to help.
Is he green?
A top agent for Citadel Security. Despite orders from his superiors that he shouldn't get involved, he told me he was suspicious of Saren, and he had some useful leads. More importantly, he was willing to share them. That led me to Rex, the biggest, nastiest-looking Krogan bounty hunter I'd ever seen. He turned out to be more than just a brute. It was his intel that led to a fugitive with incriminating evidence on Saren. The fugitive turned out to be an energetic little Quarian named Tali. A tech expert with a knack for hacking, she'd procured some information on Saren. Evidence that proved Saren was dirty. Tali's evidence proved that Saren was responsible for the massacre on Eden Prime, and that the immense warship we'd spotted was in fact Saren's flagship. But it went much further. Saren was trying to find a way to bring back a race of sentient machines from dark space. Machines allegedly responsible for cleansing the galaxy of all organic life. These Reapers were blamed for wiping out all life 50,000 years ago, including the Protheans, then disappearing back through the mass relays to dark space, leaving no trace they'd ever been. That explained why Saren was after the beacon, and it made some sense out of my visions. But not much else. We couldn't convince the Council that the Reapers were a threat, but they agreed Saren had to be stopped. They stripped him of his Spectre status and gave me the honor of becoming the first human Spectre. My first task? Bring down Saren. Anderson decided to stay behind, giving up his ship, the Normandy. He told me I would need it more than he would. He also pointed me in a direction. Liara, a Prothean expert, adept in biotics, and maybe most importantly, daughter of Benezia, Saren's top lieutenant. And like most Asari, as beautiful as she is intelligent, and born with a unique ability to meld with other species. Liara was able to help me decipher some of the vision the beacon had given me. Nothing concrete, but it gave me some clues. And a new appreciation for the Asari. Her technique for accessing my vision was unexpected, but not at all unpleasant. Ashley was a little concerned about the connection I shared with Liara. As commander, I knew either relationship had the potential to interfere with the mission.
You should let me didn't meet Liara now that I think about it. No, she did. Did she? I think she did. Yeah, she did.
Commander Shepard has been recovered.
That's it?
The Lazarus Project will proceed as planned.
I didn't cover the full game. Gosh, look at my bones. Holy. I'm being brought back from the dead. They're turning me to a cyborg. I kind of wanted the hair to be thicker. The Woodsy is bald. I don't want to say it's the facial hair though. The facial hair doesn't look right. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this, because I want to edit his face a little bit, because I don't think that looks like him, especially not with facial hair. That's not the Rugi I know. Okay, I have to go to the spawn screen. Then I edit his appearance, because it's not entirely accurate to how I want it to look. Find it. Hold on. Equipment. What? What about? Tattoo an older bond. I think this one very reliable. It can be like this, you know. I mean, I find it. Typing this one code here. Put it in the chat thing. Well. Wait. There. We Talion. Well, maybe that's nice to be. Well, 3B. Yeah. Okay. Now, the one WHJ, TBK, J36, Unlock New, BW, WNW, 7SB, 11, 1NA. Get rid of the 7. Yeah, because it was saying. Bush is in. Okay. Now we need to go to. Oh, no. Next one. Let's get that. Here. Move your hair. Move beard. of them needs facial hair. And facial hair is not really... But yeah, I guess it's the best we got. Well, I hate that. Well, I hate the pants. These are all mine. We gotta go with the ball because it's windy. Sorry, boy, windy. It's got me bald. It's got scars, I realized. I didn't know scars. Right, let's just do the normal imported. I get to change? Adapt. Oh yeah, I guess we get to change. Onion operatives are outfitted with ocular synaptic processors that allow them to focus on targets with lethal accuracy. Higher training, adrenaline rush, concussive shot. Upper training, assault rifle, shotgun, heavy pistol, ammo training, incendiary, cryo, disruptor. Soldiers of pure combat specialties known as tougher, more effective at taking down enemies with gunfire. Soldiers have most thorough weapons training and can use all special ammo types. Infiltrators are equipped with cloaking systems that allow them to avoid detection for short periods of time, granting a tactical advantage over other enemies. Higher training, tactical cloak, incinerate, AI hacking, sniper rifle, heavy pistol, submachine gun. Cryo disruptor. Infiltrators are tech and combat specialists with a unique ability to cloak themselves from visual and technological detection. Infiltrators are deadly at any range, with a wide variety of weapons, equipment, and powers that can take down any enemy. This is what we did in the first game, which we want to do again. Submachine gun now. Vanguard's outfitted with L-side-in implants, enabling the growth of a biotic charge that strikes the opponent with the granite force of bringing the Vanguard in close for short-range combat. Flew a shockwave. Vanguards are feared for their high-risk, high-reward combat style, closely focusing on enemies and destroying them at close range with weapons and biotic abilities. But who we're gonna go with again, I kinda like that. Sentinels are equipped with the most advanced ablation armor system to keep themselves safe. If overloaded, the system will stun all enemies within a short distance. Power drink, tech armor, spray, milk, alien clay, blast, heavy pistol, submachine gun. Sentinels are unique, bringing both tech and biotic abilities to the battlefield while they lack the focus of adepts and engineers. They are versatile and can handle any situation. Adepts are all fitted with outside arts implants that can power a that can spawn a microsingularity. Microsingularity? What? Damaging all enemies and pulling them into the air. That sounds awesome! Adepts are biotic specialists capable of disabling and killing enemies with raw biotic power. While they lack advanced combat training, they are the best at defeating enemies without firing a shot. Singularities. Engineers can spawn combat drones to harass enemies or force them out of entrenched car positions. Combat drone, overload, incinerate, AI hacking, cryoblast, heavy pistol, submachine gun. Tech specialist. The only class to employ combat drones on the battlefield. Engineers are most effective at class blasting through enemy defenses and disabling opponents. I think we do adapter van. No, 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 no. Go back. I think we do adapter vanguard. The soldier is pure combat. Infiltrator is combat and engineer. Combat and tech. Vanguard is combat and biotic. Sentinel is engineer and biotic, or tech and biotic. Adapt is pure biotic, and then engineer is pure tech. I'm thinking Vanguard or Adept. I think Adept is weak in this game? Really? I think we were gonna do Vanguard. I think I want to do Vanguard. You can get frustrated how Adept. Oh no, I can't decide. I think I want to do Vanguard though. I don't really like just leaning fully into one class, because I feel like it limits the fun of the game, as well as your versatility. I think we're gonna go with Vanguard. Give me just a second here. Adept has the most holes. I think I want to do Vanguard, because I do want to play around with biotic abilities and I like shotguns. I've heard this class is very hard, though. Let's do it. Let's do Vanguard. Let's do it.
Something's wrong. He's reacting to outside stimuli, showing an awareness of his surroundings. Oh my God, Miranda.
That's Steve Blum.
I think he's waking up.
That is Steve Blum.
Damn it, Wilson. He's not ready yet. Give him the sedative. Shepard, don't try to move. Just lie still. Try to stay calm.
Heart rate's still climbing. Brain activity is off the charts. Stats pushing into the red zone. It's not working.
Another dose. Now.
Heart rate dropping.
Huh?
Stats falling back into normal range. That was too close. We almost lost him.
I told you your estimates were off. Run the numbers again.
Bye, Steve Blum. Get in my face, woman. Show me Steve Blum.
Wake up, Commander.
Wow.
Shepard, do you hear me? Get out of that bed now. This facility is under attack. Shepard, your scars aren't healed, but I need you to get moving. This facility is under attack.
Why are we under attack?
On the other side of the room. Hurry! Grab the pistol.
Now look at my face. Okay, hold on. Slow down.
You don't have time to wait around, Shepard. Grab your weapon and
This pistol doesn't have a thermal clip.
It's a med bay. We'll get you a clip from... Damn it! Those canisters by the door are going to blow. Get behind cover now.
Wait, I got a bunch of power-ups. There's too much happening on screen. Love affair. Okay. That's what happened. I had experience. Cool. Complete the tutorials. Cool. What's the next one? Okay, 190 Renegade, 190 Paragon. Okay, cool. Clear. Okay. Charge. Wait, assault. Even limited continuous? Okay, I guess this is fine. Dude, so much is being thrown at me so fast. Holy moly.
Shield yourself from the blast.
I don't have ammo.
Security trying to kill you. Look for a thermal clip for your pistol. Looks like they set up a barricade to try holding the mechs off. Look out! Keep moving, we need to get to the shuttles.
Interesting. So the ammo is no longer... It's no longer heat-based, it's actual bullet-based.
Shepard, security mechs are closing in on your position. Take cover.
System not designed for specialized ammunition.
Taking heavy fire.
I'm getting shot!
Force casualty. Defender offline. Rerouting power. Failure.
Nice work, Shepard. Coast is clear.
I have a better gun. What did I get? Ammo? Oh, that's ammo. Oh wait, I was using incendiary ammo. Can I mark this number 4? Oh, that's number 2 already. Never mind. I stupid.
Don't waste time. I can't keep the mechs distracted for long. More reinforcement. Here come the mechs.
Grenade launcher?
Use the... Take the elevator down 1 floor. Hurry! Get to the door! Run! You're doing great, Shepard. Head to the next room and I'll try to meet you. Shepard, read me. I've got mech closing in on my position.
Log update. The cost of this project is astronomical. Over 4 billion credits so far. But nobody seems to care that we've gone over budget. I don't know where the boss gets all his money. Maybe it's better not to know. I just wish he'd kick a little more in my direction.
I see, Blum.
Progress is slow, but subject shows signs of recovery. Major organs are again functional, and there are signs of rudimentary neurological activity. In an effort to accelerate the process, we've moved from simple organic reconstruction of the subject to biosynthetic fusion. Initial results show promise.
This is the area when Steve Blum was like in every video game and every TV show and everything ever.
Warning, hostile force using non-standard ammunition.
Log update. I can't figure Miranda out. As project director, she should be ecstatic at all the progress we've made. But she's still the same old ice queen. Maybe she's worried Shepard might become the new favorite. Or maybe she is just a pure cold-hearted bitch.
That's very nice.
Gear up! Shepard, what the hell? Tag!
Hostile forces have engaged.
What are you doing here? I thought you were still a work in progress.
Are you with Miranda?
Yeah, sorry. I forgot this is all new to you right now. I'm Jacob Taylor. I've been stationed here for—
Hostiles detected.
Damn it! Things must be worse than I thought if Miranda's got you running around. I'll fill you in, but we better get you to the shuttle first.
I know this isn't the best time, but I'm sick of stumbling around when I don't know what's going on.
Fair enough. I'll give you the quick version. You and your ship were attacked and destroyed. You were killed. Dead as dead can be when they brought you here. Our scientists spent the last 2 years putting you back together. You've been comatose, or worse, that whole time. Welcome back to your life.
I'm having some trouble wrapping my head around this.
Yeah, I can imagine. The Alliance officially declared you killed in action. The whole galaxy thinks you're dead. And if we don't get to those shuttles, they'll be right.
Were there any other survivors from the Normandy?
I'll tell you what. You help me finish off these mechs, and I'll play 20 questions with you all day. We're low on thermal clips, but I'm a biotic. Just give the order when you want me to hit them with the good stuff.
Interesting.
Falling back. Okay. I promised I'd answer your questions. What do you want to know?
What's your job here?
Depends on who you ask. Technically, I'm Miranda's top lieutenant, but I'm just a soldier. I served 5 years in the Alliance before this. Now I'm in charge of the station's security. Usually a lot more dull than this. Normally I don't fire my gun unless it's target practice.
You said they spent 2 years rebuilding me? How bad were my injuries?
I'm no doctor, but it was bad. When I first saw you, you were nothing but meat and tubes. Anywhere else, they'd have put you in a coffin. But Project Lazarus was different. Cutting-edge technology.
What do you mean? Cloning? Cybernetics?
I don't know the details. You'd have to ask the scientists. But I'm pretty sure you're not a clone. They wanted to bring you back exactly as you were. You're still you. You just might have a few extra bits and pieces now.
What can you tell me about the project? Were there other test subjects?
Project Lazarus only had one subject. The whole point was to bring you back. Just you. Even that was a challenge. 2 years. All the top scientists. The best technology money could buy.
Do you know anything about this attack? Who's behind it? What they're after?
Damned if I know. I was getting ready for some shut-eye, then bam! Bunch of explosions. Next thing I know, every damn mech in the place starts shooting at us. I'm guessing it had to be an inside job. You'd need top security access to hack all the mechs.
The last thing I remember is the Normandy blowing up. Did anyone else make it?
Just about everybody survived. A few servicemen from the lower decks didn't get out. Navigator Presley was killed by an explosion. But everyone else, including the non-Alliance crew, the Asari, Liara, and the Quarian, they all made it out alive.
Do you know what any of them are doing now?
I don't know, Commander. It's been 2 years. They've moved on. Left the Alliance. Could be anywhere.
They were my team. If they knew I was alive, they'd come back.
Maybe you can track them down after we get off the station. If we get off the station.
When I first woke up, someone named Miranda was talking to me over the radio. We lost contact just before I ran into you.
Miranda Lawson is the station's ranking officer. She led the Lazarus team. It was her job to bring you back to life, no matter what. Should have guessed she'd try to save you. She's not about to give up on you now. You said you lost contact. Could you tell what was happening?
There was some gunfire and an explosion right before I lost her.
She knows how to take care of herself. But I hope she's okay.
What's the quickest way to those shuttles?
Depends where the mechs are thickest. It's probably best if we...
Check. Anyone on this frequency? Anybody still alive out there? Hello?
Wilson, this is Jacob. I'm here with Commander Shepard. Just took out a wave of mechs over in D-Wing.
Shepard's alive? How the hell? Never mind. You need to get him out of there. Get to the service tunnels and head for the network control room.
Roger that, Wilson. Stay on this frequency.
I think I remember a Wilson checking on me one time when I woke up.
That's him. He's the chief medical tech. Answers directly to Miranda. Come on. The service tunnels are this way.
Can I ship on my helmet? Oh no, I can't. What a shockwave. Open the door. Lag. Lag. Why is it lagging?
Sleep mode ended.
Damn it, Wilson. This room is crawling with mechs.
The whole station is crawling with mechs. I'm doing the best I can.
Critical system down. Systems failure.
Wilson, find us another route out of here. Preferably one that doesn't lead...
Oh, God. They found me. Help!
Wilson, where are you?
Server room B! Hurry! They're out of control!
Up those stairs, Shepard.
Oh, God. I'm hit!
Shepard, down here! Bastards got me in the leg!
We need to get off this station.
I'm not going anywhere till someone fixes my leg.
Should be some Metagel in the first aid station on the wall. Hopefully there's enough to get him up and moving again.
Grab the Metagel from the first aid station on the wall.
Unity? Oh, that's not a hotkey anymore.
Never thought you'd save my life. Guess that makes us even now. I thought maybe I could shut down the security mechs, but whoever did this fried the whole system. Completely irreversible.
We didn't ask what you were doing. Why do you even have security mech clearance? You were in the bio wing.
Weren't you listening? I came here to try and fix this. Besides, I was shot. How do you explain that?
I don't care who set up who. Those mechs are shooting at all of us. We'll sort it out later.
We need to find Miranda first. We can't just leave her behind.
Forget about Miranda. She was over in D-Wing. The mechs were all over that sector. There's no way she survived.
A bunch of mechs won't drop Miranda. She's alive.
Then where is she? Why haven't we heard from her? There are only two possible explanations. She's either dead, or she's a traitor.
Then why did you wake me up and warn me about the attack?
Okay, maybe she's not a traitor, but that doesn't change the facts. We're here, she's not. We need to save ourselves. The shuttle bay is only a few... We can overload the canisters to clear a path to the shuttle. That's it. Let's get out of here.
There's a...
Okay, we took him down, but this is getting tense. Shepard, if I tell you who we work for, will you trust me?
This really isn't the time, Jacob.
We won't make it if he's expecting a shot in the back.
If you want to piss off the boss, it's your ass, Jacob.
The Lazarus Project, the program that rebuilt you. It's funded and controlled by Cerberus.
I think I ran into Cerberus a few times while I was investigating Saren. Some kind of pro-human splinter group, right?
Well, that's what the Alliance wants people to believe. But there's more to it. The Alliance declared you dead. They gave up. Cerberus spent a fortune to bring you back. Look, I'd be suspicious too, but right now we have to work together. I thought you deserved to know what's what. Once we're off the station, I'll take you to the elusive man. He'll explain everything. I promise.
Elusive Man? Is he in charge of all this?
Yeah, that's not his real name, of course. Nobody knows who he really is.
It was a code name the Alliance used for him. Kinda stuck.
I don't care what his name is. He just needs to answer my questions. All of them.
He spent a lot of money and time bringing you back. I'm sure he'll be more than happy.
How do I heal?
On target.
Interesting.
Test subject has been recovered, but the damage is far worse than we initially feared. In addition to the expected burns and internal injuries from the explosion, subject has suffered significant cellular breakdown due to long-term exposure to vacuum and sub-zero temperatures. Despite the extent of the physical trauma, Wilson assures me subject is salvageable. The Lazarus Project will proceed as planned. Test subject has been recovered, but damage is far worse than we initially feared. In addition to the expected burns and internal injuries from the explosion.
Open the
Come on,
door.
through here. We're almost at the... Miranda, but you were...
Dead?
What the hell are
Ah.
you doing?
My job. Wilson betrayed us all.
Even if you're sure, did he deserve that welcome?
He sabotaged the security systems, killed my staff, and he would have killed us.
You sure about that, Miranda? We've known Wilson for years. What if you're wrong?
I'm never wrong. I thought you'd have learnt that by now, Jacob.
You should have taken him alive. See what he knew.
Too risky. I've put too much time and effort bringing you back to life to let you get killed now.
You really think Wilson's capable of that?
Not anymore.
I had a feeling Wilson was just looking for a chance to shoot me in the back.
Good instincts. Some people are far too trusting to ever see that coming. Come on, let's grab this shuttle and get out of here. My boss wants to speak to you.
You mean the elusive man? I know you work for Cerberus.
Ah, Jacob. I should have known your conscience would get the better of you.
Lying to the commander isn't the way to get him to join our cause.
Well, since we're getting everything out in the open, is there anything else you want to ask before we go, Commander?
Convenient that you show up as we're leaving. Where were you during the attack?
Besides trying to save your life? Wilson figured out I was helping you and he sent an army of mechs to take me out. I got here as soon as I could. Probably a little too soon if you ask Wilson.
What about the rest of the people on the station?
This is the evac area. If they're not here now, they're not coming.
We can't leave without knowing for sure. We need to go back and look.
Don't you get it? The only one worth saving is you. Everyone else is expendable.
She's right. We all knew the risks when we signed up. Without you, there's no point to any of this.
I'm still confused.
Where are we going?
Another Cerberus facility. The elusive man is waiting for you there.
I'm not sure I trust you.
This is the only shuttle off the station. You want to stay and rot with the mechs? Be my guest.
Okay. Okay? What?
You're the Lazarus Project's director, aren't you?
That's right. I put 2 years of my life into this project. Into you.
What does Cerberus want from me?
Maybe you should ask the elusive man when you meet him. He poured virtually unlimited resources into Lazarus. Obviously, he has some kind of plan for you.
I've had enough of this station to last a lifetime.
Or 2, in your case. Come on.
She's got a big head, big face. Did you see that? She's big forehead, big face.
Before you meet with the elusive man, we need to ask a few questions to evaluate your condition.
Come on, Miranda. More tests? Shepard took down those mechs without any trouble. That has to be good enough.
It's been 2 years since the attack. The elusive man needs to know that Shepard's personality and memories are intact. Ask the questions.
This is a waste of time. I feel as good as ever.
The sooner we start, the sooner we can be done. Start with personal history.
Okay. Records show you were a colony kid. Lost your parents when slavers hit Mindor. You enlisted and won a medal fighting Batarians during the Skillian Blitz. Do you remember that?
Choice had to win.
No way was I gonna let those slaver bastards send me running.
However you want to put it, it was damn impressive. I had friends who were there. Satisfied, Miranda?
Almost. Let's try something more recent. Vermeer, where you destroyed Saren's cloning facility. You had to leave one of your squad behind to die in the blast.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams was killed in action. It was your call. Why did you leave her behind?
I left a friend to die that day, and I didn't do it casually. But I had to save as many people as I could. Ash gave her life for the rest of the team. Without her, I couldn't have stopped Saren. She died a hero.
I understand, Commander. And I wasn't judging your decision. Everybody at Cerberus knows that cloning facility had to be destroyed.
There are other tests we really should run.
Come on, Miranda. Enough with the quizzes. The memories are there, and I can vouch for Shepard's combat skills personally.
I suppose you're right. We'll have to hope the elusive man accepts our little field test as evidence enough.
Listen to see who all the squad members are.
The elusive man is waiting for you in the other room. The elusive man is waiting for you in the other room.
I wouldn't keep the elusive man waiting.
On your second here.
The elusive man is waiting for you in the other room.
How many times do you say that? Customized gear? Armor. Type. Helmet. Recon hood. Kinetic padding. Increases health by 5%. Dual layer. Kinetic padding that's in light. With external shaft comes standards. Increases health by 5%. Make myself super shiny. Huh, I can change my color. I didn't need pink. I didn't need no red. Whoa, I kind of like that. There's the regular blacks. I was thinking either the dark red or the blacks. Let's see a dark red for now. Two. Okay. Since it's black, I'm gonna do it. Dark red accents. Other? Ah. We did that. I think that's cool. Well, that recon hold. With that. Yeah, look at me, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm super cool.
Commander Shepard.
Elusive man. I thought we'd be meeting face to face.
Unnecessary precaution. Not unusual for people who know what you and I know.
And what exactly is it that you and I know?
That our place in the universe is more fragile than we'd like to think. That one man, one very specific man, might be all that stands between humanity and the greatest threat of our brief existence.
The Reapers.
Good to see your memory's still intact. How are you feeling?
I noticed a few upgrades. I hope you didn't replace anything really important.
We tried to keep you as intact as possible. We need Shepard, just as you were when you defeated Sovereign.
What are the Reapers doing that made you decide to bring me back?
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack. While you've been sleeping, entire colonies have been disappearing. Human colonies. We believe it's someone working for the Reapers, just as Saren and the Geth aided Sovereign. You've seen it yourself. You bested all of them. That's just one reason we chose you.
Fighting a war doesn't seem like Cerberus. Why are you involved?
We're committed to the advancement and preservation of humanity. If the Reapers are targeting us, trying to wipe us out, Cerberus will stop them. If we wait for politicians or the Alliance to act, no more human colonies will be left.
Sovereign was trying to harvest all life in the galaxy. Why would the Reapers target a few human colonies?
Hundreds of thousands of colonists have vanished. I'd say that fits the definition of harvesting. Nobody's paying attention because it's random, and the attacks occur in remote locations. I don't know why they've suddenly targeted humanity. Maybe you got their attention when you killed one of them.
Sovereign was trying to harvest all life in the galaxy.
Nobody's paying. I don't know why they've suddenly targeted humanity. Maybe you got their attention.
If this is a threat against humanity, you need to mobilize the Alliance.
They suffered substantial losses fighting Sovereign. They're rebuilding, still stretched too thin to waste resources verifying the Reaper threat. Blaming the abductions on mercs and pirates is easier and more convenient.
You could have trained an entire army for what you spent to bring me back.
You're unique. Not just in ability or what you've experienced, but in what you represent. You stood for humanity at a key moment. You're more than a soldier. You're a symbol. And I don't know if the Reapers understand fear, but you killed one. They have to respect that.
If you're after the Reapers, just point me in the right direction.
Miranda was worried you'd be resistant. She's not usually wrong. I have a shuttle ready to take you to Freedom's Progress, the latest colony to be abducted. Miranda and Jacob will brief you.
Miranda killed Wilson in cold blood. Jacob's just a gun for hire. You expect me to trust them?
Wilson was one of my best agents, but he was a traitor. Miranda did exactly what I expected of her, and she saved your life in more ways than one. Jacob's a soldier, one of the best. He's never fully trusted me, but he's always been honest about it. You'll be just fine with them. For now.
What do you think I'll find there?
If I knew that, I wouldn't need to send you. Find any clues you can.
Point.
Who's abducting the colonies? Do they have any connection to the Reapers? I brought you back. It's up to you to do the rest.
Leveled up. I like that, actually. I was around with it.
The elusive man is very impressed with you. I'm eager to see if you can live up to his expectations on this mission.
I never got a chance to say how much I appreciated what the Lazarus Project did for me.
I just hope it was worth it. A lot of people lost their lives on that station.
We have to work together here. Your attitude isn't helping anything.
I have the utmost respect for your abilities, Shepard. It's your motivations that concern me. I believe in what Cerberus stands for. Only time will tell if you prove to be an asset or a liability to our cause.
What can you tell me about this colony we're going to?
Freedom's Progress? It's a typical human settlement in the Terminus systems. They had a small military force for protection supplemented by mechs and security drones. Average in almost every way, really. Completely unremarkable. Until the disappearance.
Any thoughts on what we might run into there?
A lot of empty buildings and one giant mystery.
I'd like to know more about the Lazarus Project from the person in charge.
I wasn't in charge. The elusive man was. If I was running the show, would have done a few things differently.
What would you have changed?
To start, I would have implanted you with some type of control chip. But the elusive man wouldn't allow it. He was afraid it might affect your personality, alter your character somehow. He wouldn't let us do anything that might limit your potential in any way.
Can't say I like the idea of being brought back to life with a control chip in my brain.
The elusive man is taking an incredible risk with you. I just hope his gamble pays off.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Worried about my qualifications? I can crush a mech with my biotics or shoot its head off at 100 yards. Take your pick.
I was trying to get to know you as a human being.
I'm not looking for a friend, Shepard. Stay focused on the mission.
Did you and Jacob serve together in the Alliance?
No. The elusive man recognized my potential and recruited me at a young age.
How old were you?
Old enough to know this is what I wanted.
It's obvious you're not interested in talking.
We've got an assignment. We can talk about it or we can do it.
Why is she mean to me?
I'm glad the elusive man convinced you to join us, Commander.
I just want to find out what happened to those missing people. I still don't trust Cerberus.
Noted. Do you trust me, Commander?
You're a good man, Jacob. But you might be working for the wrong people.
Maybe. But I thought the same when I was with the Alliance. That's why I'm here now.
Do you know anything about this colony we're going to?
It's called Freedom's Progress. Don't know much else. I guess we'll find out when we get there.
You said you served in the Alliance?
5 years in total. Stationed all over the galaxy. Even spent a couple of years as a Corsair.
That's like by Corsair Company, the
I've
Vita
never heard of
Hearts.
the Corsairs.
It was an Alliance
I have.
initiative. They hired independent starship captains and used them for missions that fell outside official Alliance jurisdiction. Technically, we weren't part of the Alliance. If we ever got caught, they could disavow any knowledge of us. We were supposed to be free from restrictions and rules, but there was still enough red tape to sink a cruiser. I finally just gave up.
Why did you join Cerberus?
I guess I just got tired of never making a difference. So much of what we did in the Alliance seemed pointless. I thought things would change after the attack on the Citadel. Humanity was finally invited to join the Council, but nothing changed. Politics, bureaucracy, same bullshit, different leaders. Cerberus is different. When colonies go missing, we don't commission a team to write a report to figure out what the hell to do about it. We just go and find out.
That's all for now.
Yes, sir.
Ah. Interesting. It's so different in the first game.
The elusive man put us under your command. Do you have any orders?
What did you find at the other colonies?
Nothing. No signs of attack, no corpses, not even a trace of unusual genetic material to give us a clue. They just disappear. And we've got no target to go after.
Are you sure you'll be comfortable following my orders?
We didn't bring you back from the dead just to second guess you, Commander. If the elusive man says you're in charge, you're in charge.
What makes you think this investigation will turn up anything new?
At other colonies, official investigators got there first. Sometimes looters or salvage teams as well. We're hoping to be the first ones there this time. Maybe find clues before somebody else disturbs the scene.
Our first priority is to look for survivors.
That's unlikely, Commander. No one was left at the other colonies. They were completely deserted.
Be nice to find somebody. Anything's better than another ghost town.
Hey, bud. Yes, I'm live. I'm gonna be live much longer, but I am live. That's right. Ah, my eyes! I don't like how they got rid of my facial hair. I'm currently uncomfortable right now. What happened? Well, I guess I should level her at. There's so much so does my head. What happened? Playing sports. Ah, I see. I also noticed there's no equipment option.
The Asari were the first species, roughly 50,000. In the early 21, the hand The Crow, driven from a myth, the Volus are a...
Guess I just overexerted myself. Actually, you just could be tired from playing sports all day. That's a thing. I need my shotty. Kinda like my saying. What class is he? Oh, Vanguard. I think he's Sentinel. So he has shotgun, and she has machine pistol, heavy pistol. Okay. Yeah, you're probably just sore from playing sports. It happens.
Looks like everyone just got up and left right in the middle of dinner.
Strange. No bodies, no structural damage, and no signs of battle.
I'll go ahead and end here for today. Because I have work in the morning. And I also have to turn off the HDR because it is very bright. I was with the hat, by the way. Yesterday was my debut anniversary. I debuted 1 year ago yesterday. Yesterday was my debut anniversary. I'm officially 1 year old, chat. I'm 1 year old. Double digits. Double digits, cat. Double digits. The graphics of Mass Effect 2 are a lot better. I don't like the facial hair, because it makes me look like I have no facial hair at all. But they're much better. I'm gonna go ahead and head to bed, though. Because I have work tomorrow, and I have to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to go to work tomorrow, but I have to. But yes, I have to go to bed. I appreciate you all. I thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed Double Stream today. I hope it made up for yesterday. Bleh. I didn't stream. But, you know. Yes, I need to go ahead and head out. I appreciate y'all for hanging out and stopping by today. I hope I made up for yesterday. But I didn't stream. I was supposed to, and I'm sorry. And I know my debut anniversary was yesterday, and I was supposed to stream, and I didn't, and I'm very, very sorry. I love you all so much, though. I'll be back tomorrow. I should be on time tomorrow. We'll see. I'll try my best. You know me, though, man. I may not be, but I may be. We'll see. I love you all so much. What? And I will see you all very, very soon.